Hi and welcome. This video is all about Soci 122 Pasco review. I've already released the first part. Okay, this is the last part. Okay, the final part. This is part 2, and it will be centered on your exams only. And please, if you have not checked the first video, kindly check it is on my channel so you can watch that video. Also, if you just if you're a new joiner, probably you are now watching my video, please make sure you subscribe for more captivating content, right? On 21st September we are embarking on a trip. Okay, we don't know each other, so we want to have some get together, just get to know ourselves. So we are embarking on a trip to Akosombo, that's Peninsula, very nice place. Okay, we also go to Domi Bridge, we go to Shy Hills, and then Akosombo Dam. So these historic places, we'll be visiting them, and if you have 250, you can join us, right? So you can reach out to me. That's on 21st September after your exams. I think a week after your exams we are going, so get in touch with me. I want to say shout out to Officer Fred, Beneza Winnie, that's Stories. All of you are doing extremely well. Sister Mabel. Okay, I can't mention all your names. Okay, Mr. Dako. Okay, Mr. Dako, Solomon Dako, wherever you are. Shout out to everybody that is also trying their best, and people that have been supporting my videos by sharing, and all of you, I appreciate you. Okay, at the right time, if you share and you capture my attention, I also give you a shout out. Okay, and also Samuel, yes, this semester I'm not seeing anywhere. Last semester was very active. Samuel, wherever you are, shout out to you. Okay, so without wasting my time, the first video was 60 questions, and this one is going to capture also about 50 questions. And so 60 question, one question is not even easy, so we are going to continue with what we did yesterday, and I believe that your dito is assured. So we are starting from number 36. Okay, we ended here and we brought you some questions. Okay, I brought you some different questions. So 36. Okay, 36. All right, so okay, so where is 36? Okay, 36 says that why is human adaptation to the environment a two-way process? Okay, so why is what? Why is human adaptation to the environment a two-way process? So I'm only reading the option and giving you the answer, right? So the answer is what? B. So because both human environment and the organism experience changes brought about by what? The two variables. Okay, so usually the answers are similar, so when I read both you may not get the difference, so I'm reading only the options for you, if unless it is the options are just short options before I read for you, but the big ones I'll just give you the option, the answer alone. So why is human adaptation to the environment a two-way process? Is because both the environment and the organism experience changes brought about by the two variables. Usually when you are reading, the answers are similar. Okay, the options are similar, just some little changes that he makes there, so you have to pay attention, especially the first line, right? Let's go. Number 37. Which type of reciprocity exists in the horticultural society where beyond household a person gives a gift to another in the community, such as a partner, a cousin, or a friend, and expect something in return, though not immediately? This is balanced reciprocity. 30. Number 38. What is the difference between ethic and emic perspective in anthropological research? So what is the difference between them? So the answer is what? C. That is what? emic what? Perspective is a research approach that focuses on the interpretations and explanations of the local people or research subject, while the ethic, all right, the ethic perspective is what? Is a research approach in which the ethnographers rather than the locals experience explanations and criteria are used for analyzing the culture and life of the people being studied. So I'm taking it again. Emic perspective is a research approach that focuses on the interpretations and explanation of the local people or research subject, while the emic perspective is a research approach in which ethnographers, rather than the locals' explanations and criteria, are used for analyzing the culture and life of what the people being studied. Number 39. 39 says, what would you call the study that gather the same information from large number of people who are chosen to be representative of a larger population of which they are part? This is called survey. This is what survey. Number 30, number 40. What are the ethical dilemma issues that are likely to arise in social research? So this is what anatomy sorry anonymity, confidentiality, and informed consent. Okay, anonymity, confidentiality, and informed consent. Number 41. Which of the following data collection methods allow researchers to notice things and routinely may escape awareness of the research participant if different method is used? This is called observation method. That's what observation method. 41 is observation method. Number 42. Assuming Ghana, a third world, would have achieved the status of industrial society, which of the following options best describes the characteristic features of its new status? So the answer is A, that most Ghanaians population will live in cities or urban communities. The population will be made up of what? People of diverse ethnic, religious, and cultural backgrounds. The population will be heterogeneous, and greater proportion of the people will be working. Okay, so that is it. All right, so usually it's just some little okay, we'll be working in bureaucracies. So I didn't finish. We'll be working in bureaucracies. There will be a very high level of division of labor. The country will be transforming its primary produce into finished product. So that is it. So you see, that is, you look at it, just some slight difference. That's why I don't want to read them for you. So you pay attention to the answer I give to you carefully. All right. So how would you ensure that in carrying out the social research assignments, your informants are protected from harm during your information gathering process? So the answer is C. The answer says that a student researcher would be guided by what ethical consideration by protecting the respondents from being harmed by research activities. I would explain I would explain my respondents. I would explain to my respondent that the purpose of the research in the language may in the language they can speak, and seek their consent to take part in the study. They will be given the opportunity to determine the interactions with me using a voice or video recorder. If they reject my request, I would respect their decision. I would also give them the opportunity to freely withdraw from research if they desire to do so. Right, so let's go. The options, when you read, we won't go today. Number 44. 44. In many societies across the globe, land is indispensable to the survival of the people. With this understanding, how may one describe the way in which horticultural communities engage or work the land so it may provide maximum produce or benefit for their survival? So the answer is A, which is what horticultural societies engage in land through an elaborate process of slashing and burn, okay, and cultivation of crops and plants that met their daily food needs, right? So let's go. Number 45 says a problem faced by labor in the market of industrialization is stash. So it is a high cost, a high cost of goods they produce. B, feelings that they do not own what they produce. C, inability to build a new relationship with co-workers. And D, low cost of living faced by workers. So the answer is what? B. That's feelings that they do not own what they produce. Okay, so let's look at this. So 40 says growing cocoa trees in the desert regions of West Africa may sound strange since the soil type is not known to be supportive of cocoa cultivation. That may be what possibly achieved though through. So which one is the most appropriate? So the answer is what the appropriate is what overcoming environmental challenges and constraints using science and technology. Okay, number 47. Which of the following best describe division of labor among foraging communities? The answer is A. That is men, men fish, men fish and hunt, as well as they provide security for the group, while the women fetch edible plants, fruit, vegetables, and root crops. Okay, the women also take care of the young ones, right? Also take care of the young ones. Number 48. Which of the following statements about pastoralism is an adaptive strategy and of an adaptive strategy is true? So it says that what, like horticulturalists, pastoralists always looking for green pastures for their animals. I I says that what pastoralists need large fields to bear to rear their animals and are often mobile, right? And then I says mobility is a characteristic of pastoralism as they may what they may move their animals around in search of pastures. So the answer is I I I and IV, which is what so the I is what like horticulturalists, pastoralists, okay, are always looking for green pastures for their animals. I also says that mobility is a characteristic of pastoralism, okay, pastoralism, right? Forgive me, okay, as they may move their animals around in search of a pasture. And then the last IV says that humans protect these animals and ensure that their safety, health, their safety and health, what reproduction. So the last one is for not part. Okay, they need large fields to rear their animals and are often mobile. That is not part. Okay, number 49. Who is a cultural consultant or key informant in social research? So the answer is B, which is what an individual, the ethnographer engages in the field who is knowledgeable and provides vital information about the culture of the people being studied. Number 50. Which of the following statement best describes human conditions, environment, and adaptive strategies? So the answer is E, which is what the ways in which people organize themselves either socially or economically to extract a living from their habitat, and it is what a basic determinant of diversity among people. Okay, so number 51. which Why should social scientists be guided by the ethical principle that is cause no harm to research subjects when they undertake studies on people, communities, and societies? So the answer is what? A. That is to avoid the long-term consequence of nobody volunteering for research, which may what? Which may affect the conduct of what? Research in the future and hinder the knowledge generation, right? That is the answer, which is what? Which is A. So let's look at it. Number 52. comparing religious activity in traditional African society and developed society, will you show that? So the answer is B, which is what traditional African society are more likely to include religious activity in its daily routine than the developed society, right? Do you get it? So number 53, which of the following options is a principle of reciprocity on which the market model of redistribution and exchange is modeled? So that is what C, that is what the exchange system occurs between strangers and people who are distant because the parties may not see each other again. They want something in return for what they are giving out. Exchanging with outsiders is full of ambiguity, suspicious and mistrust, and there are social distance between the parties. The the more parties want something in return, okay, so they don't trust themselves in that process. 50 what 54, in what productive way did hunter-gatherer society manage over the centuries to live under the severe condition which impacted negatively on their social, cultural, and economic life? So the answer is D. That's what they managed to sustain a strong bond of kinship ties, and were what mobile and exploited the natural gifts and goods of what the environment through say some form of what division. So the answer is what they managed to sustain a strong bond of kinship ties, were mobile and exploited the natural gifts and goods of the environment through some form of division of labor. 55, in many societies across the globe, land is indispensable to the survival of the people. With this understanding, how may one describe the way in which horticultural communities engage or work the land so it may provide maximum produce or benefit for their survival? So the answer is C. That's horticultural communities. What horticultural communities engage the land through an elaborate process of slashing and burning and cultivation of crops and plants that meet their daily food needs, right? Number 50 says, 56 says, what is your opinion on the assertion by agricultural experts that the point of fact, agriculture is what is a far more sustainable and dependable means of production of food production in many societies than horticulture? So the answer is what agriculture is what dependable source of food production than horticulture because it sees irrigation facility as what facility to cultivate crops, uses what chemical manure, expand land use and labor, and has a practice of what storing food to be used at a later date, right? So that's what A. Number 57, the nature of the effect of colonization on African after labeling them as uncivilized, inferior to the European is known as what is psychological. They see them as what inferior and uncivilized. So it's psychological aspect of it that you're talking about. 58, what is the description of the use of policies demonstrating the continuous domination of the African society by Europe, even though the colonization has officially ended? It's imperialism. Number 59, what are the major factors responsible for the emergence of colonialism as a system of occupation and domination? So the answer is A, which is what? Which is Europe Europe searched for markets for its manufactured goods to get what Africa's resource for the purpose of industrialization and development as a source of national pride and what glorification. Okay, so that is it. And then let's look at this. Let's look at number 60. The theory of environmental determinism explains that human activities are controlled by the physical environment. It's exemplified as what? All the options mentioned are not part with the exception of B, because B is saying that production of cocoa in the middle belt of Ghana where abundant rainfall, which is what? Which is convenient for the cultivation of slash of what? Of cash crops, is experienced beside constant supply of what? Moisture. So environmental determinism is it means that where you live determines the work you do. If you're around coastal area, you are likely to what? To do fishing, and if you're around the rainforest, you're likely to engage in what? Cash cropping, right? But if you say that the ability is that the ability of people in the northern Ghana to produce fishes, it is impossible. C says that the sandy coast of Ghana where technology is employed in the production of plantain. We don't plant plantains in the coastal areas. 61. How may one describe the way in which horticultural communities engage or work the land so it may provide what maximum produce or benefit for their survival? The answer is A. That's what horticultural communities through what rain-fed farming and mobility engage the land through what the process of slashing and burning and planting of crops and plant that met what that meet their daily food needs. Okay, so we look at this number 62. It says that what is your opinion on the assertion by what by the agricultural expert that agriculture is far more sustainable and dependable means of food production in many societies than what than horticulture? So we go by saying the answer is what A. That's what agriculture is what dependable source of food production than horticulture because it uses what irrigation facilities to cultivate crops, uses chemical manure and expand land use and labor, and has what and has a practice of what storing food to use what later. Number 63, outline ways in which colonialism affected African people psychologically. So I told you that they see them as uncivilized and what and inferior. So you see the psychological effect of colonial colonialism, right, on African is what the perception that the people are uncivilized and inferior to the Europeans, and in this way they were racially what discriminated against. All these negative impressions constituted a form of mental oppression as far as Africans' dealings with the Europe was concerned. Let's look at number 64. So mineral resources, which is the backbone of many economies, opportunities to become masters of the surroundings, and threats including those posed by wide what ravenous animals and disease are associated with what the physical environment. That's be normal. So that is 64. Okay, so I made this one to 24. So okay, this is a bonus question. So how did the colonialists what ensure that Africans' way of life was gradually what undermined? So the answer is what? So let me this one the options are small. So let me read them for you. So Africans were taught to speak the language of the colonialists, right? and asked to embrace Christianity so they could what be considered as civilized and modern. Force. B. Africans were taught to speak the language of colonialists and also behave like the European as to be considered as civilized and modern. No, let's look at D. The D says that Africans were taught to speak the language of colonialists and also adopt Western ideas, norms, and values, and indeed the total way of life of the white man, so they could be considered civilized and modern. That's what we are going through. Number 65. Why was African described? Why was Africa described by Europe as the white man's burden during the colonial period? So the answer is what? So we say A. This was what? This was to enable to enable Europe rationalize the occupation and what and domination of the colony for their selfish interests by what proclaiming that they were around to civilize the people. So that's the answer. But if you say that this was their true intention to civilize the people, labeled as barbaric, savages, and uncivilized, by helping them to adopt the way of life, this was what no, okay, let's look at the other one, which was this was also to enable the colonial masters to help the indigenous people to adopt Western norms, ideas, values, for that matter, the entire culture of the colonial masters, and enable them to become what civilized. Okay, so right, so let's go. Number 60. Okay, so 65. Let's go 66. 66. An effect of industrialization on the people of industrial society is the answer is what loss of what emotional and affectionate feelings. So B, feeling proud for owning their product. No, and C, lack of what impersonal relationship with co-workers. So the answer is what emotional loss of emotional and affectionate feelings. Number 67. The industrialized worker is very calculative in selling their labor for cash because A, what it thinks of what remitting the kin group at home. B, he wants to what they want to what become cost they want to maximize cost, and C, they want to what maximize income. So yes, it's want to maximize income. Number 67. The industrial worker in the developed society who lives his life outside the kin group thrives on what A, fundamental differences, B, occupational relationship, and D, division of what labor. So the industrial worker, okay, thrive on what occupational relationship. Okay, occupational relationship. 69. The distribution and exchange of goods on reciprocal basis constitute part of the economic system of A, foraging societies, B, only horticultural and agricultural societies, C, that is what industrial and all other communities. So it's what only agricultural and horticultural societies. So only agricultural and what horticultural societies. Okay, this answer. The answer is between A and B. But so for okay, distribution and exchange. Okay. Yes. I get it. Distribution and exchange. So the answer is correct. Let's look at number 70. The use of subtle policy by the developed countries to continuously develop to control the less developed nation is referred to as neocolonialism, right? A subtle way to not colonization, not imperialism. It's neocolonialism. Number 71. It says what deprive deprivation, right? Deprivation of what? Deprivation of the African territories of their mineral resources such as gold, diamond, nickel, copper, iron, uranium, bauxite, timber, and etc. used to develop what European countries, which as a result impoverished Africa, and its material progress back occurred during what the okay, sorry, this one I the highlighted one is what it's what is colonialism. It's colonialism. I underlined the wrong answer. Okay, it's colonialism. The answer is colonial, no new colonialism. Number 70 what? Which as a result uh impoverished Africa and held its imperial progress back occurred during what? The colonialism. Okay, so it impoverished Africa. So that is it. Colonialism. Not new. So 73. Okay, in what productive ways did the hunter-gatherer societies manage over many centuries to live under the severe conditions which impacted negatively on their social cultural life? So the answer is what? They managed to sustain strong bond of kinship ties, and, and were mobile and exploited the natural gifts and goods of the environment through some forms of division of labor. 74. How may one describe the way in which horticulture communities engage or work the land so it may provide maximum produce or benefit for their survival? So the answer is A. That's what horticultural communities through rain-fed farming and mobility engage land through what the process of slashing and burning and planting of crops and plant that meet their daily food needs, right? Number 71. What is your opinion on the session by agricultural expert that agriculture is what is a far more sustainable and dependable means of production in many societies than horticulture? So the answer is A. That's what agriculture is what is a dependable source of food production than the horticulture because it uses what irrigation facilities to cultivate crops, uses chemical manure, expands their land use and labor, and also has a practice of storing food to be used in at a later date, right? So let's look at number 76. Outline outline the ways in which colonialism affected Africans psychologically. I told you the answer is C. I've solved that. I said that the psychological effects is that the perception that the people are uncivilized and inferior, okay, to the Europeans. That's it. So let's look at 77. Mineral resources, which is the backbone of the economies. Opportunities to become masters through the surroundings and threats, including those posed by wild ravenous animals and what diseases are associated with what I've already explained this. I said what is physical environment. 78. In what way does religion serve as a social control mechanism in a society? The answer is B. It's what it is a it is a social fact and therefore a powerful means by which the group that society controls the behavior of the individual for the larger interests of the group. Its function is what universalize values that make them absolute. Religion prevents what waywardness in individual character and aids in securing their conformity to the norms, values, and what beliefs. Let's look at number 80. Which of the following options exist in Africa during neocolonialism? So the answer is A. That's the use of policies to control African societies and ushering them into unfavorable bilateral and multilateral cooperations. The era has been characterized by unfair trade relations, and also serve as what smokescreen for continuous exploitation of the African countries. Number 81. The survival of human race on earth has been made possible through A. The development of knowledge on different physical environment. B. The relationship between the types of what physical environment and human adaptability. And then C. What the relationship the what adaptation to the environment, and also to what. So the answer is what? The answer is C. This what adaptation to the environment, and also to the constructed cultural environment, to also the constructed cultural environment. Number 82. Explain why negative reciprocity is said to be characterized by less trust, resulting from what? The weak social ties of exchange partners who may largely be what? Strangers. So the answer is what B. That's what this is because the exchange system. This is because the exchange system. This is because in the exchange system, the parties often engage in what? In cagey and deceitful transactions. Number 83. The conflict between Niger and France has come about because of what? Imperialism. It's imperialism. Number Niger and France is because of imperialism, or probably Burkina Faso and France is imperialism. Number 84. Distribution of goods constitutes part of what? Of the productive process of what? So distribution of goods constitute part of the productive process of dash all the adaptive strategies. Okay. Let's look at number 85. Okay, that's the last one. In industrialization involved the use of scientific knowledge and technology, as well as what? Labor on large scale. That's C. That's labor on large scale. So this ends the video. Please, if you want to donate to this channel too, you can reach out to us, and it will be appreciated. Okay. God bless you, and thank you for watching.